I think our continued advancement as a school system is dependent on the SPLOST. So by utilizing the funds that we get from the state and complementing those funds with the SPLOST funds, it allows us the opportunity to have the funding to be able to do renovations that we want to do throughout the system, to keep the system, in good shape.
SPLOST funds can be used for several different things, but it's mainly capital improvement projects, and that consists of buildings, renovations, large expenditures. This is capital improvement funds only. They can only be used for those purposes, so trying to use these funds for other purposes is actually illegal, and it has to be approved by the voters of the county through a ballot question on what the funds can actually be used for.
We were very thrilled when Dr. Smith came on board and got the project going. The Board of Education listened to us, the architects listened to us, Chris Sheridan Group listened to us, and the teachers had a lot of input on how the school is designed, such as having the large classrooms with the cubbies built behind a wall so it doesn't interfere with instruction and the classroom looks neat at all times. We have little learning centers outside each classroom. We asked for a music room. We asked for an art science combination room. Over here, we have technology in every classroom, every space. In the cafeteria, there are two sections that's together. That's the cafeteria and the gym, so we can expand that out. So we have a lot of technology, new technology, and Wi-Fi, so the teachers are very excited. One thing that teachers asked for was to have the sinks outside of the bathroom so we can monitor students a little bit better. So we have automatic faucets and automatic dryers, and they'll be out in the hallway, so after the kids use the restroom, they can come out and wash their hands and still be supervised by the teachers. We just look forward to the new building, and we're going from 41,000 square feet to over 96,000 square feet, so more than double our size.
Teachers and students want to be able to access videos, access the web, to be able to use technology as an important tool in the classroom. In every school, we completely redid the infrastructure. We were able to recable all of the schools. Again, we put fiber directly to the classroom, new electronics in all of the schools, new wireless in all of the schools. We were able to do a centralized data center. We took all of those old aging servers that were out in each of the buildings, centralized into one large data center. And now we're able to manage the entire district from one location. We're currently sitting in the new NOC, which allows us to look at every device throughout the district and be able to manage that with those 7 people that we have to go out and work on things. We put in Safari Montage throughout the district, which gives us video conferencing capabilities in every classroom, at every school. It allows us to manage video. We bought new student computers for all of the schools, $142 per student. We also were able to refresh all of the staff computers. Again, many of those computers were between 7 and 12 years old. We were able to build a training center in this building. It gives us a demo area for schools that want to look at classroom tools. They can come in, they can try the types of tools that we can support, and we can train on all of those tools. Now that we've completely rebuilt the network infrastructure, we can focus directly on the classrooms and on being able to connect classrooms together and take advantage of the tools that the internet provides us. So for instance, the classroom of the future is really about collaboration. It's about maybe we don't need 25 to 30 students in a classroom. Maybe we can do more stuff at home or in other locations because we can provide that content in any place.
To date, ESPLOST has purchased 67 vehicles. We have 3 passenger vans, 34 buses that have been purchased, 22 maintenance vehicles, and 8 police vehicles. In supporting the teaching and the learning environment, you have to have more on the support services side than just the people. You need the equipment and the vehicles to move the people about the district so that they can perform their duties. So from a transportation standpoint, if we just go back to the maintenance vehicles, of course you want a modernized fleet, a fleet that's in good repair as opposed to disrepair, so that the maintenance employees can go from school to service air conditioning units, to deal with electrical problems, to deal with any concerns that the school may have. from a building standpoint. From a campus police standpoint, of course, we want to be able to respond throughout the district to serve not only the students but the administrative staff as well. And then, of course, school buses. We you know, they're transporting our most precious cargo. So we want to make sure that our fleet is as modern, new, and well maintained as possible. So taking older units out of the fleet and replacing them with newer units is always important.
The first thing that I want to thank to the SPLOST is the security features that came with securing how external people get into the building. Before the SPLOST, we only had the doors to the rotunda, and so people could walk in and very well not go straight to the office. And so with the SPLOST came the security door, the cameras to allow people to come into the main office without really entering the school. We received new carpet all over the building in the classrooms. The floors were redone. They had to come in and uproot all the floors and re-cement all of the floors. Our cafeteria received a new look to it. The floors, the blinds, we have new curtains for our cafeteria. The AC units were replaced. The roof, where there was leakage before, they came in and did the roof. There were some structural things that was really dangerous, and so we had to really get in here and reorganize and fix the things that were dangerous. The SPLOST really made this a unique place for teaching and learning. When students are in a beautiful place, they really learn better. They take pride in the school. Westside is a beautiful school. SPLOST really contributed to making Westside a very special place for all of our stakeholders, our students, our teachers, our parents, our district. We have a lot of district and state meetings here, so if it was not for SPLOST, then we would not have this more beautiful facility. It was already architectural developed into a beautiful space, but now it's just wonderful.
Well, you know, having been here before and after, you know, it's a lot of things that got done. We talked about a practice field for our football team and our soccer field that were allowed us to practice on campus, or better facilities. Tennis and track, we didn't have anything there. Tennis team had to drive downtown to practice. Track team just had to make do running around the parking lot. So those two things, those two facilities, the track and the tennis, have helped us a bunch. Not only with facilities, but getting people involved, because now students see the facilities on campus, and it's allowed them to, you know, feel like it's our track team, our tennis team, not some team that practices downtown. You know, we were fortunate to get air conditioning in the gym. You know, it was brutal. We also got a storage facility. We received a concession stand. You know, just allow people to booster clubs to have a place to sell out of, and that's been big. One of the big things is restrooms. Now we have real outside restrooms. You know, it's allowed us to be first class. I mean, you know, you want people coming to campus, you want them to see a nice concession stand, you want them to see nice restrooms, you know, so those things have been a big plus for us. If you're a tennis player for Rutland and you just walk out the door and go to your tennis courts, that's the source of pride. It's also makes you want to be involved, as opposed to you're a tennis player at Rutland and you go downtown to practice when you can. You can't practice every day. Well, now you can practice every day, you can work on it. You know, so it's on campus, and that's big. Same thing with track. Our track team can work out there. Both those have give a source of pride for our students and our athletes, because it's our facilities, it's our training areas, our areas to work with.
When we originally came over and toured this building, it was not, didn't have anyone in here. There was, you know, quite a bit of, it was a dark building, really damp, had not been used for a couple of years. We were just immediately thrilled with the prospect of having the design and the layout that this school would afford us. You know, through the planning and working with Brenda Stokes and the team with Bibb County, we were actually able to have some input into some of the things that we would need, being a program that serves children with special needs. We had some unique requests just in terms of, for instance, like a place, an appropriate place for our nurse to dispense medications, something that was more private and more secluded so that they could handle that discreetly every day. We requested some safety features. For instance, on the front doors, there's a delayed exit. Every room was gutted and remodeled from top to bottom with brand new carpeting and lighting, energy efficient lighting, so that when you walk in, it's activated by a motion sensor, and when you leave, then the lights go off. We have natural lighting through all the building, which wasn't here prior to that. When you walk down the hallways, every classroom, even if it doesn't border an outside wall, it still can get natural lighting because they also installed some windows on some of the more interior rooms to allow for that natural lighting. Our lunchroom is just phenomenal because Cleta Long worked with us to have some green, inspirational things put up around the lunchroom to where it really shows our commitment to trying to reduce, reuse, and recycle. The floors, they popped up the old VOC tiles that were down on the floor, and they refinished every floor with a natural finish, so it's just almost like a polished concrete. It's just bare concrete, but it's beautiful, and we get so many compliments on that. And we also have an area where our students can go and work on some functional daily living skills, where they can go and cook, and that's almost like a week-long process. They work in their classrooms on planning, how would you prepare meals, what would you need to do to get ready, you know, for a week's worth of meals, and they plan the meals, they go out in the community and they purchase the things that they need, and then they can come back and prepare the meals in the Bethesda Living Center. We also, at the same time that the school was being renovated, partnered with the Knight Foundation and were able to develop a wonderful sensory garden that our students are able to go out, and we partner with the nutrition department. So what the SPLOST afforded us was just rejuvenizing our work that we do every day with these young people.
Safety for our students and our staff is a top priority for us in the school district. We have been very pleased with the response from our community because this was something new for them. It used to be that they would just come to the school and enter the main entrance doors and come into the main office. But now at the front door entrance, before they actually gain access, all of our visitors to the school have to ring the bell and also identify themselves and show proper identification. And we believe that this is just one safety measure among several others that we've put into place to ensure safety at our schools. We have also been able to add additional police officers. We're in the process right now of bringing on a K-9 drug dog to support our campus police department. We've been able to add additional police vehicles. We're in the process now of updating all of our safety school signs so that the signs reflect the recent House Bill 60, which is the safe carry gun law. So we are in constant conversations about how do we make sure that we are proactive to ensure that our schools are as safe as they possibly can be for all that are involved.
And as we move forward, there's always needs within a school district for funding of capital improvements, dealing with things of new buildings and renovations to buildings. And moving forward, there's been a need for auditoriums at high schools that don't have them currently. In a future SPLOST, if it was approved by the voters, there would be a recommendation out there to build auditoriums at these locations that don't have them. And there's other improvements that are needed. There's renovations that need to be carried on. There's always a need for capital improvements.
The money that's spent within our community is actually returned to the community through us spending the money here in Bibb County. And one thing that I think that's really notable about Macon and Bibb County is that we sit at the crossroads of two interstates, I-75 and I-16. And it's right in the center of the state, so it's the centerpiece of the state of Georgia. We have a lot of traffic going east, west, and north and south, and as a result of that, in excess of 40% of the revenue is collected from people who live out of county, and often a lot of it's collected from people who live out of state because of the kind of this being 75 being the pipeline from up north to Florida, and people travel that area on a regular basis. But we're able to do a lot of things with the SPLOST funds that we would not ordinarily be able to do, because prior to SPLOST, I think the first SPLOST was held in 1996 in the state of Georgia. But prior to that, we had to rely on millage rate and collection from property taxes in order to be able to do the renovations and build the new schools, or either we had to approve a bond that we would get the money up front and be able to build the schools, and then the community through the tax base would pay the bonds back. So it's a fabulous tool for financing education today.